Yo, what's good? I'm Quinn, just a girl from LA chasing the pop star life. But yo, picture this, my boyfriend and my own dad totally betray me. My music stolen. My vibe wrecked. And the wildest part, my mom's got a secret that flips my whole world. Will I crash hard or come back stronger? You gotta watch to find out this story's insane. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share with your squad to join the drama. The auditorium crackled with tension, my sneakers squeaking as I stood, fists balled, watching Ms. Larson, my fifth-grade teacher, tear into Timmy, a timid kid with a stuttering voice. Her words were sharp, slicing through his crumpled volcano model. "This is worthless," she sneered, tossing it into the trash. My blood surged, my heart pounding like a drum. I couldn't stay silent. "You're a bully!" I shouted, my voice ringing across the room. The class gasped, some kids giggling, others staring like I'd sprouted wings. Ms. Larson's eyes narrowed to slits. "Principal's office now," she barked. I marched out, my cheeks blazing, the hallway a blur of motivational posters and lockers. By lunch, the school was alive with whispers, kids calling me the rebel behind their hands. That night, sprawled on our suede couch in our Los Angeles bungalow, I told Dad, expecting a lecture. Instead, he grinned, ruffling my braids. That's my superstar, fighting for what's right. As a music agent, he saw me as the next Lizzo, always pushing me to shine. Mom, though, was a thundercloud, her apron dusted with flour as she chopped carrots. "You humiliated us," she snapped, her voice cutting through the sizzle of the pan. I rolled my eyes, but her anger hit harder than usual. The next day, things exploded. Ms. Larson sent a note to our class parents, calling me disruptive and demanding an apology. It leaked to the school's Snapchat group, and by recess, kids were reciting it, snickering over their fruit snacks. I wanted to disappear, my hoodie pulled tight over my curls. Dad had other ideas. He posted a video of me singing an original song about standing up to bullies on TikTok, tagging a famous DJ he'd worked with. It blew up, hitting 60,000 likes overnight. Strangers dubbing me LA's little warrior. I strutted through school in my glittery Converse, feeling untouchable. But when I got home, Mom was waiting, her eyes bloodshot from her accounting job. "You're turning us into a circus," she yelled, as our neighbor, Mrs. Chin, sipped tea in our kitchen. Mom added, "You're out of control, and your father's enabling it." My face burned. Why did she have to shame me like that later? I caught her staring at an old photo, whispering. My band friends turned their backs when I dropped the mic, like her past was a wound that never healed. Her cold stares sharpened, especially when Dad praised my singing. At a school talent show, I won first place with a cover of Victoria Monet's Moment, and Dad gifted me a sparkly mic. Mom didn't clap, her arms crossed, like I'd taken something from her. One night, I overheard her arguing with Dad. "You treat her like she's flawless, but she's spoiled," she hissed. Dad laughed. "She's got star power." "Karen, why can't you relax?" I smirked, but a flicker of doubt crept in. Why was Mom so bitter? The real shock hit at Dad's birthday party. Our backyard was packed with his music industry friends, sipping kombucha in their off-white shades. I stepped up in a sequined dress, belting a song I'd written for him, and the crowd roared. Dad hugged me, whispering, "You're my everything." But then Mom stood, her face tight. She grabbed a mic and announced a surprise, a soulful pop song from her college days. Her voice was raw, mesmerizing, and I froze. She was a singer. The crowd clapped, but Dad was glued to his phone, posting my performance. Mom's smile faded. In a heated moment, she reached for a crystal vase, her grandma's wedding gift, to pass to a guest, but her hands shook as she snapped at Dad. "You'll never understand what I gave up." The vase slipped, shattering on the patio, shards sparkling under string lights. She gasped, tears streaming, and fled inside. I stood stunned, my heart racing, wondering if I was the reason for her pain. What had she lost? Why hide her gift? Dad shrugged, saying, "She's stressed from work," but I couldn't shake her words. That night, I lay awake, my fairy lights glowing, knowing Mom's anger held a secret I had to uncover. The stage was my home, the spotlight bathing me in fire as I swayed in my bedazzled crop top, my voice soaring through the high school auditorium. Junior year was my breakout every open mic, every Twitch stream. I owned it. I'd spend nights hunched over my guitar, rewriting lyrics till my fingers blistered, my throat raw from perfecting every run. My covers of Chloe X, Halle, and Drake racked up thousands of views on YouTube, and Dad was my cheerleader, booking me gigs at LA's hottest venues. At a music industry mixer in Hollywood, he pulled me into a crowd of execs, boasting, "My girl's the future of pop," while Mom stayed home, buried in tax forms. He shrugged off her absence, muttering, "She's always tense," but his eyes flickered with worry, like he knew something was off. Mom's silence was heavier than ever, her Post-its on the fridge now just "study hard." I'd crumple them, but her words lingered, like she was waiting for me to fall. Things got wild one day at school. In the cafeteria, this mean girl, Vanessa, was trashing a quiet kid, Josiah, for his scuffed Vans. She accidentally knocked his tray. Fries scattering. I'd had enough. "Back off, Vanessa, or you'll be scrubbing that floor," I snapped, stepping between them. The crowd gasped, phones out, filming. Vanessa smirked but slunk away, her click trailing. Josiah looked up, his hazel eyes grateful. "Thanks," he mumbled, adjusting his glasses. I grinned, catching his shy charm. We started talking, bonding over our love for Kalani and late-night Fatburger runs. Then he dropped a bombshell his dad was a Grammy-winning music producer. My jaw hit the floor. Josiah wasn't just cute, he was a game changer. We were soon dating, stealing kisses by the bike racks, my heart racing when he called me his muse. Dad was over the moon, pitching collabs with Josiah's dad, but Mom cornered me one night, her voice low. "That boy's trouble. His family's all clout." I laughed, tossing my hair. "You're just mad I'm winning." Her eyes darkened, but I stormed off, blasting music through my AirPods. Josiah got me an audition with his dad's label, promising I'd hit the Billboard Hot 100. I poured my soul into an original song about chasing dreams, rewriting it till my voice cracked. The execs loved it, and at 16 I signed a record deal. My single, "Shine On," dropped in spring, and by summer, it was trending on Spotify, my face on playlists next to SZA. I was living the LA dream photo shoots in custom vinyl skirts, fans screaming at rooftop shows. But at my first big gig at the El Rey, Josiah grabbed the mic. "This is my girl," he said, grinning. I shaped her sound. The crowd cheered, but I froze. Shaped me I'd bled for every note. Backstage, I snapped, "What's your deal?" He shrugged. "All charm. Babe, I'm hyping us. My dad's connections got you here." His Billboard promise dangled, and I let it slide, ignoring the twist in my gut. Mom's warnings echoed, but I drowned them out. Then, one night, I found an old flyer in Mom's closet, her headlining a college showcase. I confronted her. "You were a singer." She nodded, her voice soft. "It still hurts to talk about." Her eyes glistened, like the past was a wound she couldn't touch. I wanted to push, but she left, leaving me with questions. Josiah kept pushing new tracks, new vibes. At a label party, I overheard him on the phone with his dad. "She's my golden ticket," he said, laughing. My heart sank, my fingers trembling. I wanted to storm over, demand answers, but the stage lights called, holding me back. My phone pinged my single-hit #6 on the charts. Fame was too sweet to question. Or so I thought. The stage was ablaze, my heart pounding as I danced across the Kia Forum, my metallic bodysuit glinting under the lights. At 17, I was a pop titan. My album Starstruck Triple Platinum, my face on billboards from Melrose to Broadway. Josiah was my shadow, tweaking my harmonies, his hand on mine like we were invincible. Dad was living his fantasy, sending me fan edits on X, captioned, "My legend." But Mom's silence was a void. Her post-its now just, "Stay safe." I'd toss them, pretending I didn't feel the weight. The Billboard Music Awards were my peak, strutting the red carpet in a custom Balmain gown, Josiah in a matching silk jacket. We were hashtag Jackie Quinn, trending with heart eyes emojis. But during a Variety interview, Josiah cut me off. "I crafted her whole aesthetic," he said, smirking. Crafted. I wrote every lyric, sang till my throat burned. I pulled him aside, my voice sharp. "Stop acting like you own me." He laughed, smooth as ever. "Babe, we're a brand. Relax." I forced a smile for the cameras, but my chest tightened. Mom called that night, her voice cold. "You're his puppet. Don't let them steal who you are." I scoffed, but her words lingered. When I hung up, she texted, "I'm scared for you," her worry piercing me. I didn't reply, too deep in the fame game. The tour deal came next. The label wanted me to open for a global icon, but Josiah pushed me to tour with his cousin, a nobody with a YouTube channel. "It's family," he said, but I overheard him promising his dad a cut of my earnings. My stomach twisted. Was he using me? I confronted him at his dad's Santa Monica penthouse, the city sparkling below. "Are you playing me?" I demanded. He smirked. "You're paranoid. Babe, I got you this tour." He kissed me, and I caved, hating myself. The tour was a blur. Phoenix, Dallas, DC, fans waved glow sticks, but Josiah controlled everything, from my vocals to my holographic outfits. I felt like a doll. In Vegas, I found Mom's old demo tape in her bag she'd come to supervise. It was her, singing a heartbreak ballad, her voice raw and haunting. I cornered her in the hotel lounge. "Why hide this?" She sighed, eyes distant. "I trusted a producer who stole my work. I quit to protect you." My throat tightened. Was she talking about Josiah? I pushed, but she shook her head, saying, "Don't make my mistakes," her voice heavy with disappointment, and left. Back in LA, Josiah pushed a contract giving his dad control over my masters. "Sign, or the label cancels your tour," he warned, his eyes cold. The thought of losing my stages, my fans, crushed me, so I signed, ignoring the alarms in my head. At a VMA's after-party, I saw him flirting with a new singer, whispering, "Quinn needs competition to step up." My heart cracked. I stormed over, my voice shaking. "You're a fraud," I snapped, heads turning, cameras flashing. He laughed, but I walked away, my heels echoing. Then, the hammer fell. A video leaked on X, spliced to show me yelling at Josiah, calling fans clout chasers. It was fake. Our fight was about his cousin, not fans. Comments flooded. "She's done. Trash." I called Josiah, furious. "Did you leak this?" He denied it, but his voice was too slick. I hung up, my hands trembling. Later, I learned his dad had been pressuring him to deliver a star to cement his own legacy, pushing Josiah to manipulate me. It didn't excuse him, but it made the betrayal cut deeper. The world was a maelstrom, each headline a dagger twisting in my chest. At 18, I was a pariah. My name dragged through the mud on gossip sites from Pop Buzz to the Shade Room. Josiah had sold my unreleased album to a rival, Violet, whose version of my songs dominated the charts while mine were shelved. Worse, he'd hacked my X account, posting fake confessions that I'd stolen Violet's music. He'd grabbed my password from my iCloud when I left my laptop open during a rehearsal. A betrayal that burned like fire. My followers plummeted from 1 million to 250,000 fans, flooding my DMs with hate. Thief flop I hid in my bedroom, the LA skyline a cruel reminder of the stages I'd lost. My glittery posters mocked me, relics of a dream turned to ash. I texted Dad, begging for help, but he was silent. Then I saw his ex post a photo with his new wife, a 34-year-old Instagram wellness guru, captioned, "Free from Karen's failure." New family, new life. He'd called Mom a loser to his 70,000 followers, the retweets piling up like punches. At Coachella, he posed with his stepdaughter, grinning in a bucket hat, as if I'd never been his superstar. I called him dozens of times, my hands shaking, but he'd blocked me, like I was nothing. My heart shattered, the pain raw and unrelenting. I stumbled into the kitchen, where Mom was sorting bills, her glasses fogged. She looked up Dee, her eyes soft. "You saw it," she said quietly. I nodded, tears spilling. I braced for a lecture, but she sighed. "He broke us both." I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. I ran to my room, slamming the door. The next week was a nightmare. My label dropped me, citing a trust breach in my contract. My tour was canceled. My merch yanked from Forever 21. At school, Vanessa smirked in the halls. "Karma's brutal." "Huh," she taunted. I ducked into a bathroom, my hoodie hiding my face, my fight gone. On X, Violet's fans made memes of me crying, set to my stolen tracks. I felt like a ghost. Then, a glimmer of fan, a former intern at Josiah's dad's label, DM'd me a screenshot of Josiah's email, bragging about hacking my account to end me. My hands shook. This could save me. But would anyone care I sent it to Mom? Expecting her to shrug. Instead, she called me downstairs, her voice firm. "We're fighting back." I blinked. She nodded, pulling out a worn notebook of her old lyrics. "I lost my shot, but you won't." Her words lit a spark. I'd seen her as the enemy, but she was my warrior. I hugged her, sobbing, a fire reigniting. Then, the bombshell. In her notebook, I found a contract from her college band, signed by Josiah's dad. He'd been the producer who stole her songs, promising fame but leaving her broken. I trembled, my voice barely a whisper. "He didn't just ruin me, he destroyed you." The realization hit like a tidal wave, my resolve hardening. I logged into Josiah's old iCloud from my laptop, finding a text to his dad. "She's done. Violet's our cash cow." My blood boiled. This was a family plot. I saved every shred, my heart pounding. Mom and I weren't just saving my career, we were reclaiming her stolen dreams. The studio was my sanctuary, the mic my lifeline as I poured my soul into Truth Hurts. A song Mom and I wove together. Her tattered notebook lay open, her lyrics blending with mine, anger, pain, and hope in every line. At 19, I was done being a victim. The past year had crushed me, but Mom was my anchor, her strength pulling me through. She'd practiced with me nightly, her voice shaky at first, her hands trembling as she gripped the mic. "I'm doing this for you," she'd say, pushing past her fear of the stage, her eyes fierce despite the nerves. We'd laugh over dollar store ramen in our cramped LA apartment, her tales of college gigs making her human, not the cold figure I'd known. I'd judged her wrong, but now I saw her a fighter who'd never quit. The fans' screenshot of Josiah's email was our catalyst. We leaked it to a music blog, and it exploded, trending on X with #QuinnRises. Fans flooded my DMs with apologies, begging for new music, but Josiah's dad hit back with a slander lawsuit, claiming I'd faked the proof. The legal fees drained us, and I sold my vintage sneakers to help Mom pay. She never flinched, just kept writing, her belief in me unshakable. We recorded Truth Hurts in a friend's garage, filming a gritty video in our thrift store fits me in a ripped hoodie, Mom in a borrowed denim skirt, posted on YouTube. It hit 8 million views in a week, fans raving. This slaps. We were wrong. A Netflix music director saw it on X and DM'd, wanting the song for a teen drama. I screamed, tackling Mom in a hug, our laughter bouncing off the walls. The deal cleared our debts, and I booked a comeback show at the Troubadour, my old stomping ground. Backstage, I was a mess, my platform boots scuffing the floor, my stomach churning. What if they hated me? Mom grabbed my hands, her voice steady. We're enough. I nodded, tears welling, and stepped into the lights. The crowd roared, waving signs. Quinn's back, I sang, Truth Hurts. Every note a piece of my heart, but the magic hit at the bridge. I faltered, my voice catching. Then Mom strode out, mic in hand, her presence electric. The crowd gasped as she sang, her voice rich and fearless, like she'd never left the stage. We harmonized, mother and daughter, our voices shaking the room, phones lit up, filming, and I saw fans crying in the front row. When we finished, the cheers were deafening, and I hugged her, whispering, "You're my hero." She smiled, tears shining. So are you. The duet video went viral, hitting 8 million views in days. Fans unearthed texts proving Josiah's dad had orchestrated the hack, and his label faced a boycott, its stock plummeting. He dropped the lawsuit, his empire crumbling. Josiah was fired, reduced to DJing weddings, per X rumors. Violet's stolen tracks were pulled from Spotify, her career fading. I didn't care about revenge. I had Mom. We launched a micro label, signing young artists, teaching them to own their work. One night, over pizza on our balcony, the LA skyline twinkling, I got a text from Dad. Saw your show. Proud. I paused, my thumb hovering. For a moment, I saw the dad who'd called me his superstar. But that girl was gone. I'd grown beyond his shadow, rooted in Mom's strength. I deleted the text, my heart steady, knowing I didn't need his validation anymore. Mom clinked her soda can against mine, and we toasted to us a team, a family, unstoppable. Wow. Thanks for sticking with me. Fam. This journey was about finding my strength and realizing family's the real deal. Shout out to my mom for being my rock. What's your take? Drop it in the comments. Hit that like if you felt this. And subscribe for more stories that'll blow your mind. Share with your crew. And let's keep this vibe going. Peace out.